Hey, their webpage still isn't up and running, and until last November, Covered Oregon had 0 Obamacare enrollees. All the while, the woman in charge was painting a much different picture of the program to officials in Washington, saying this: our federal partners were delighted with the technical application. They gave Oregon very high marks, saying that our design was among the best they had seen across the nation. But our next guest claims Carolyn Lawson lied, and about the site's progress, and was given more than $50 million in federal grants because of it. Patrick Sheen is a former Republican state rep who reported the allegations to the FBI, and many people are saying somebody should go to jail because of this. What outrages you the most about this whole entire process?
Well, what outrages me the most is that Oregonians aren't getting the health insurance they were promised. You know, I brought this up more than a year ago. In our committees, I was very critical of Cover Oregon's progress, and someone came to me in confidence that was close to the exchange and gave me this allegation that Oregon wasn't being truthful in their federal gate reviews, which is the benchmark that they get the federal funding in pieces once they prove functionality. And K2, the news station here in Portland, did some investigating, and they uncovered some documents that show that what he was alleging seems to hold up.
So in layman's terms, what were they doing with the software? They were setting up dummy pages and creating the illusion that it was up and running?
Well, I'm not entirely sure because I wasn't in the room. I actually saw it for the first time when the documents came out, and I was floored that the things that I was being told in confidence were had come true, that was the case. Because what was being shown to us in our legislative committee was nothing near functional.
So if nothing's near functional and they got the money, where's the federal government? Where's the outrage coming from the government who wrote the check, which is on taxpayer dollars?
I don't know, because it's all our money, and to squander it like that is crazy.
So having said that, who's going to be accountable for this? Where's the investigation going? I mean, we're shedding the spotlight on it. Your local station's doing the same thing. Have anybody else picked up this ball?
Ultimately, the governor has said that he's going to take responsibility for it, but we'll see if that's true. He ordered a special investigation that started this week. Conspicuously absent from that investigation was Carolyn Lawson's name, and she was the IT director at the time.
But by making these false claims, isn't that criminal?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't speak to that, but it would seem that that's a possibility, and that's why I took it to the FBI, because this wasn't an issue of legislative oversight at this point. If there was fraud, then it needs to be investigated, and someone needs to be held accountable. Having
said that, Patrick, what do you think the actual numbers are of Oregonians who have been able to sign up?
Well, I've seen some of the numbers as of a couple of weeks ago. They're touting, I think, 114,000. However, most of those are Oregon Health Plan, which is our version of Medicaid, that didn't really come through the exchange. They're touting about 20,000 individual policies, which is about 0.5% of Oregonians.
All right, this is outrageous. It's just one of the 49 separate cases that we have. Every state, some says they're up and running. It makes you wonder how many are actually up and running. Patrick Sheen, former state rep in Oregon, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, next on our rundown.